Where did all the cruise ships go? Since there's way more cruise ships in the world than there are berths in ports, the ships had to anchor somewhere. So I went to find out. When you think of cruising, you probably think of the Caribbean. After all, that's by far the most popular place to cruise in the world. But you might be surprised to know that there's more than 300 cruise ships spread throughout all corners of the globe, including right here in little old England. Yeah. Sadly, the coronavirus has devastated the cruise industry, and that's why you see these lonely, sad ships anchored offshore, waiting for a time when people no longer associate cruising with catching a killer virus. At the best of times, of course, cruise ships have struggled to contain contagious nasties like the Norovirus. So it's no surprise that the coronavirus hit the cruise industry like a sledgehammer. You might remember back in early 2020, the virus spread through the Diamond Princess in a matter of days, and Princess Cruise Line eventually reported that 700 passengers had been infected, which, come to think of it, seems a suspiciously even number, doesn't it? 700 passengers. Makes you wonder whether they were testing the passengers, they reached 700 and they thought, yeah, we probably shouldn't test anymore. After that disaster, the cruise industry was essentially shut down, and that's the reason why we see all of these ships out here in the English Channel. You see, at any given time, there's a lot more ships than there are berths available in the ports. The only option then is to anchor in the calmer waters near the coast and just wait it out. Today, off the south coast of Bournemouth behind me, we see the Queen Elizabeth, the ship, that is, not the person, as well as P&O's Arcadia and Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas. A bit further round the coast near Weymouth, there's another 7 cruise ships. It really is an astonishing sight to see all these gigantic cruise ships together in such close proximity. It's like a cruise liner party, except it's not really a party at all. Probably if these ships could talk to each other, they'd all be crying. If you're interested in finding out more about the location of these cruise ships all around the world, there's a fascinating website run by someone who probably has too much time on their hands. It's a lot of work to position all these ships. It's called cruisemapper.com, and you can have hours of fun tracking down the location of your favorite ships. Just as a follow-up to that report, after a bit more digging, I discovered that the reason why that region off the south coast of England is so popular is because there's no fees involved to be there. Interestingly, the media were also apparently fascinated by all these huge ships moored off the coast of England. Here's a clip from CBS.
The collapse of international travel means the industry is losing around $1 billion a month in revenue. But some of those empty ocean liners are fueling a different kind of tourism industry along the English coast. Holly Williams has the story.
The cruise industry has literally ground to a halt. Its floating fun palaces now lie empty and eerily quiet. Many of the giants are now moored off England's south coast, where it's free for them to drop anchor, with just a skeleton crew on board.
You're one of the first to book. Well done. Hello there.
But now one enterprising Englishman
Becky, lovely,
has devised an ingenious plan to make money in the middle of a pandemic.
You're fine. Welcome on board for who wants to go and see some ships?
Running cruises to see empty cruise ships.
The normal crew complement is nigh on 2,000.
She's 14.
Paul Derham leads daily tours, charging $25 a head to see the hulking ocean liners on his own tiny ferry boat.
So we advertised it on Facebook, 2 cruises, and within 4 hours we'd filled up 4 cruises.
I think it's really cool how they're doing those tours. After all, there's not much else happening for a lot of people, even though it is a bit ironic to do a cruise to see other cruise ships. Thanks for watching that clip. In a moment, I'll tell you how you can watch the full episode. But just before that, we have a nifty free guide for you, which you can get at travelproshow.com. It's called 7 Top Travel Hacks to Save You Money on Your Next Flight. And it's the ultimate blueprint for getting the best deal every time. For more travel pro tips, subscribe to this channel by clicking on the little bell down there, and then leave a comment below saying, "I subscribed," and I'll personally respond to your comment. Also, since you just watched a clip, you can now watch the full episode of the show here. By the way, thank you for supporting creators like us so that we can continue to bring you high-quality, original content. Click here now.